Hi there. My name is Jeff, and this is sort of the analysis and extracting the KI from the survey that we did. Basically, this is what led the real life situation that led me to my KI. Was as my group and I were delivering the survey. On one question, we noticed that a student had not raised her hand to say yes to the question, but all the other six students had raised their hand. And what we noticed was that this one particular girl sort of looked around at the others in a way to sort of validate her opinion, but when she noticed that all the other people had raised their hands, she raised her hand too. And basically, the question that she said no to originally was the second part of a two-part question, which was designed to show that people don't exactly do what they say that they would do. And so the first question was, do you believe that you should help a stranger when he is in need? And all seven people in the homeroom said yes. And then the second question was, if you were walking and heard and saw a person bleeding a lot, would you go and assist them? And so what this was designed to say was, if they're bleeding, we believe that people would not be as likely to help. And this one girl clearly showed that when she hadn't raised her hand to say yes at the beginning. And so the knowledge issue that I derived from this was, how can we know if the opinions shown by others is their own belief? And so the ways of knowing related to this issue are emotion, in that when we feel that she looked around, like when she saw that the other people's hands were raised, she felt left out, she felt alone, and that caused her to change her opinion. And her emotions led to sort of an intuition that she should change her opinion. Um, Also, sensory perception. She was looking around for cues that validated her opinion, and when she didn't see that, she changed her opinion to that of the others. And lastly, language, because sometimes when people say things and they're outnumbered in the amount of people saying things that do not validate your own opinion, you will change it based on what they are saying, even though it may not be exactly your own opinion. And so some areas of knowledge related to this issue are history, and one example of this can be in the 1950s and 60s. Many people thought that segregation was a good thing, and it was socially accepted in a way. But the people that said no were often forced to change their opinion, and sort of subliminally forced to change their opinion to that of the idea that segregation was bad, even though it may not have been their own personal opinion. They had to sort of portray this, not hatred, but animosity towards black people. Also, science, in that there may be certain areas of study that you really want to cover, and you really believe in that area, but there might not be funding dedicated to that area. So you have to sort of believe in a different type of funding or a different type of experiment in order to acquire funding. And lastly, I believe this is related to ethics, because this really has to do with, well, should you be unique in yourself, or should you be more accepted into society? And that's something that I believe is important as well. So, some different perspectives that could relate to this are like the girl who responded to the survey, and that sort of she didn't want to feel left out in a way, and she wanted to be accepted as part of the group in validating her opinions. And then another perspective, which I thought was sort of related to this, was a presidential candidate who needs votes. Because if a presidential candidate has great ideas but they're not accepted by the masses, he's not going to be elected. And so he has to sort of suit his beliefs to the beliefs of the people that he's sort of representing as he's running for president. So in that situation, he would have to change his beliefs, and they wouldn't be his own beliefs. So a couple implications related to this are, Um, if a person broadcasts another person's opinion for enough time, can that other person's opinion become their own? So really, is it possible to almost even brainwash after enough time? And so another implication would be, could a person's opinions be molded through outside influence in order to create a new popular opinion? And what could be created to create a new popular, what could be done to create a new popular opinion, like the new fad or something like that? Some significance related to this idea are that in history we can see oftentimes how a person's beliefs may be overshadowed by popular opinion, and how these persons' beliefs may mold to others in order for them to be more accepted. And then in science, as I mentioned earlier, it can lead to scientists using popular opinion in order to get funding rather than sort of focusing on areas that sort of will enhance our understanding of the world as opposed to another study on cancer in mice or something like that. Um, one personal example that I thought of throughout this was sometimes when my family and I want to go to a restaurant and we can't decide if sort of one restaurant's on the fringe, but I don't really want to go. There will be times where I just decide to vote for that one restaurant so we can just go and eat because I'm really hungry. And because of that, I just want to get some food and be sort of done with the discussion. And so that's sort of the knowledge issue that I derived from this survey, and basically everything else related to that. Thank you.